thank you for joining us today. This is Jim Shaffer from Jim Shaffer & Associates. You are Jennifer Lepard from the Alzheimer's Association. So tell us a bit about your role and your organization.
Yeah, I am the president of the Michigan chapter for the Alzheimer's Association. So we cover the entire state of Michigan. We have 10 offices spread out, one all the way up in Marquette. We have one in Grand Rapids. So we're all over the state. We've got 60 employees that work in all of our core focus areas, including development, raising money for research, and programs that we provide, doing public policy work and advocacy, and most importantly, providing care and support to people that are living with Alzheimer's disease in Michigan.
Oh, that's fantastic. And I imagine with all of that undertaking, that many offices, that many employees, and I'm sure countless volunteers, you have a great need for fundraising. I'm sure a lot of your budget is made up through fundraising. Is that correct?
We definitely do. And of course, 2020 is a challenging year for all of us, right, in that regard. One of the big things that I want to make sure that we let people know, we have lots of people that participate in our walks to end Alzheimer's, and they are happening. We are not doing large-scale walks this year. We're not getting people together. We're very cognizant of the health and safety of our constituents, and I'm so glad you brought up our volunteers. The volunteers are what make walk work, and so many of our care and support programs too, but walk is happening, and what we're saying is walk is everywhere. We're encouraging people to walk in their communities, walk with their friends, walk in your COVID bubbles. Some people are going to locations, meeting up at parks with their family and friends. And we've got 25 walks across the state of Michigan. It's the major fundraising tool that we use for the association. It's also a great way for people to celebrate their loved ones that they've cared for and that they may have lost. And I definitely want to make sure that people know it's still happening. We still get people saying, oh, I assumed you weren't doing walks. So the Detroit Walk is happening on September 26th. And again, it's walk everywhere, walk with whom you love, who you can, wherever you want to be. But we'd love for people to sign up, start a team, join as an individual, and really have them join this really important crusade.
That's fantastic. And where do we go to get information and to get signed up and begin our fundraising individually on behalf of our walks? To go right to your website?
Yes, you can go to www.alz.org. You can /GMC, which stands for Greater Michigan. That will get you right to the Michigan page. You can also go in and just search for Walk to End Alzheimer's. And it will ask you, you could put that in your Google, and it'll ask you, you'll end up on a page, will ask you where you live, and it'll show you all the walks that are surrounding. And I think one of the most important things we want people to remember is if you live in Detroit and you're saying, the 26th of September isn't good for me, I have something going on, great, you can walk with another walk because it's everywhere. So you can walk wherever you are. So please, join another walk. We have people that are signing up for our walks in Michigan and being part of that day that live out of state, that live out of country to support their teams here. So there's a lot of opportunities this year.
I love it. And tell us, with all of this great fundraising and volunteerism and your amazing staff that work together cohesively, tell us what you're doing to support families that are struggling through Alzheimer's and dealing with that and or striving through it. So
I'm
share
so
us a
glad
bit about the programs you offer.
Yeah, so glad you asked, because one of the challenges that we've had is really getting the word out. So many people think that everything has been shut down. And one of the things that we worked really hard to do, we have a tremendous program team, and they worked really hard back in March and April to transition everything virtually. So we have still active today support groups that people can participate in virtually. We have education programs. We can come to an employer and do a lunch and learn. And when I say come to an employer, of course, I mean through Zoom now. Yeah. But we can come and talk to a group of employees. We are also providing helpline services still 24/7 for care. It's especially important for caregivers and people living with dementia. We have 190,000 people in Michigan right now living with dementia. And I think that, a lot of people are aware, maybe not everyone, that this group is one of the hardest hit groups. I mean, not only are they primarily elderly, which of course we know are really hard hit by COVID, but a lot of them are dependent upon assisted living facilities. And we all know that that's where the first outbreaks occurred, and also where people had limitations on visitations. And that was a big problem. Also, people who are still at home living with this disease, a lot of them depended on outside help. The caregivers really wanted people in their home to help, and that really became difficult. So we know that this group, not only is Alzheimer's still happening, and it certainly didn't go away because of COVID, but this is really some of the group that's hardest hit. So I really encourage anyone who is living with this disease or knows someone living with this disease to visit our website again. It's alz.org/GMC, and all our programs and services are on there. And we have so many things. We've even been doing virtual field trips to some of our great partner agencies like the DIA and Henry Ford. We have some great partnerships. So in terms of activities for people, the other thing I would encourage anyone to call our 1-800 number, which is 1-800-272-3900. Again, that is staffed 24/7. You can call to ask for information about programs and services, or you could call and say, I'm having a really hard day with my loved one. Can you walk me through this? And we are there to do that as well.
That's fantastic. Well, I'll tell you, Jennifer, I absolutely love your passion and your organization. I love your guiding mission. And I think that all of us along the Woodward Corridor, throughout Oakland County, all throughout Metro Detroit, should show up in a big way and organize, if we can, between now and then, and we have a short amount of time, to maybe get within our local Facebook groups, get together a small group that want to walk together and support a great cause. So thank you so much for educating us a bit today about your organization and sharing with us, and I wish you well.
Well, thank you so much for having me. And we'll look to see you guys dressed in purple on September 26th.
Sounds good to me. Have a great day.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.